Hey everyone, so I'm here in South Dakota at Minuteman Missile National Historic Site, and behind me is Delta 1, which was a launch control facility. So Delta 1 controlled 10 missiles in the area, and so there's no missiles on site here. There's one a little farther down that I'll be seeing in a little bit, but this is where they actually controlled the missiles from and launched them in the event of a nuclear war. And I actually just finished taking the tour, and I got some video from in there. But the cool thing was that the park ranger was actually a veteran that had worked at this facility back in the 70s. So all the information and stories were from a first-person perspective. Like, when I was down here, this is how we did things. So that was really cool to have somebody that was actually here and like really truly knew what they were talking about. And the engineering in these places was insane. Yeah, it was really cool. So I'm gonna show you some of the video from inside, and then I'll work my way down to Delta 9, which is an actual silo that you can look down into.
Two things though, there's a saying that I really like, and it goes like this: we sleep safe in our beds because rough won't have you believe, usually. But South Dakota will kill you if you let it. That security controller station, they got a designator on the door there, orange 4, meant they had ammunition or extended team chief members back when I was here. And Thanksgiving, you might have spouses or girlfriends. We are, and the Air Force tends to win arguments. So, and this worked well. Women. We were faced with a lack of talented cooks back in the early 70s while Vietnam was going on. So they shipped all the best cooks over the oven. Of course, when they shifted over to the microwave, they had to go to a plastic pack. But they were flexible. This is the last remaining one of these things that's set up like this. The rest of them had their glass doors shut and welded shut downstairs, dump stuff. Enough to reach from here to Miami, Florida. And what it was 50 pair encased in this rubber to keep garments and the water out. And you had copper guard against the electric. Someplace like that as they were us. So we built these things. Well, the privacy thing became a big deal. So you had 2 layers of privacy. We used to have one old ratty curtain nobody ever pulled. 2 guys down here. I'm not going to go into any detail about it because I'm not real conversant with it. Survival was by a naval panel right there where you had to get a 6-digit code from higher headquarters. If there was a top side, you say, hey, get the heck out of the way, that thing's going up at a high rate of speed. With UHF radio, PAS, or primary alerting system, was an AT&T long line service. Its basis was a whole bunch of semi-hardened concrete buildings.
Alright, so I'm down at Delta 9, which is right behind me here, and this would have been the missile site. So those windows, actually underneath those is the silo itself with the missile in it. It's just a mock-up missile now. Of course, the real ones have been decommissioned. And this is just in the middle of nowhere out here. And actually, in the distance over here, you can see the Badlands. This is Badlands National Park off in the distance. This structure here was the basically the cap of the silo, and in the event of a launch, this would have shot backwards, uncovering the silo, and apparently would have shot back hard enough that it would have gone off the rails and through the fence. And it's on, I think, 18-inch wheels and gas power generators, and it weighs tons, but it moved pretty fast, I guess. That's pretty neat. Getting to see down inside a silo. And I'll get a little better view of it, but so the missile in this silo would have been controlled by where I was earlier at the Delta 1 launch control facility. This is just where the missile was. And there was 9 other missiles controlled by that control center. And three groups of 10 in this area of South Dakota and this whole area of South Dakota has been decommissioned as far as that goes. So no more active missile sites. I believe Montana, Missouri, no, Montana. I forget there's 3 states that still have active missile squadrons in them. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So that's about it for Minuteman Missile. This was pretty interesting. The tour, like I said before, with the actual veteran that served in that facility was really cool. But I'm going to wrap it up here and head off to my next destination, and I will see you in the next one.